session on being whole and curing erectile dysfunction. When I talk about being whole, I'm talking about the spirit, the mind, the emotions, and the body all coming together in order to make a whole person. And we can't be separating them, because what will happen is that we will miss something because they're all intertwined. It's as if all of them were in a pool and you threw a rock and they all rippled across the top. It's a beautiful thing when we decide that we're going to have great health and start with a cure. So one of the things that happens is that our healthcare practitioners try to fix only one of the symptoms. Well, that's not really what's going to happen. You know, you're going to and looking at healthcare professionals and doctors that are only, they're humans. They are overworked, underpaid, and they're only going to offer you a solution for one symptom, and it's typically a pill, and then off you go and you get billed. So what I want to be talking about is being able to keep the whole person together, not keeping it separate. When we keep them separate, we don't know which one is the one that is the culprit that we need to fix, and we chase our tails. We become frustrated, and we quit. I know many men that have said that there is no cure for erectile dysfunction, so I'm just gonna never have sex again in the way that I used to have sex. And let me tell you, I believe that that is wrong. There are definite fixes. And I will admit that there's a couple of erectile dysfunctions that I have not met yet that haven't been cured. So, when I talk about, understanding cures, it is we've been trained to keep all of our lives in separate compartments. That way we can manage them. We keep our emotions in one area, our spiritual life on just one day a week. We happen to do our bodies. If we exercise, we maintain those pretty much 5 to 7 days a week. And we've got to understand that it's important to bring all of those things in together so that they complement. Everything is equal. A penis is just as important in life as an eyeball or a ear or some other organ. And we need to integrate all of them in order to make up the whole person. Ad agencies are telling us that clothes are the most important thing. Ad agencies tell us that, if you don't have romance, you're not a complete individual. Well, we need to start really looking at how to break that cycle. And the way that we do it is we start learning about ourselves emotionally. We learn to build up our own self-esteem. We learn to get better health and well-being by treating our body respectfully, our mind and our spirit and our emotions together. So a long time ago in a faraway land, I was a child, and I would break arms. I think I broke 3. I broke at least one leg. I broke multiple fingers, and I broke toes and a skull. I've had a few concussions. Well, the doctors could always fix the arms and the legs, but they didn't do too much for the fingers, the toes, and the skull. So what I had to do was learn later on about my own health care and why couldn't doctors fix these things, and also what was driving all of those breaks. Well, reality is that after I learned about the holistic part of a human being and Reiki healing, I learned that the reason that I, as a child, had all of those breaks was because I didn't understand the whole body. I could have stopped all of the pain, all of the insurance claims, all of the financial burdens, all of the downtime, all of the frustration of CAS, of not being able to do things because I had splints and I had CAS and I had stay in, dark rooms and, overcome concussions. And look, reality is that I was very, very, very angry as a child. I did not like authority. I rebelled against the man, the machine, authority, the society, religion, everything. And what happened is that directly translated into me breaking my body because it was trying to break my will. I worked in a hospital. I was a healthcare professional. And what I learned when I was in there is that worry, anxiety are nothing more than prayer in reverse. You're going to get stuff that you worry about and are anxious about. You just bring it on in. As a healthcare professional, mindsets and lifestyle definitely were a direct correlation between the diseases that people had and their situation. It just amazed me. One of the problems is that doctors and the American Medical Association aren't treating the whole person. They're only treating one symptom. They're keeping everything separate. Well, oncologists aren't doing that, and I like that. I like that part of the medical field. I also like Kabbalah and Reiki healing, and it works for erectile dysfunction. If we break it down, we are basically two different things. That's energy and water. The energy pulses through our body to give us a heartbeat, to give us thoughts. It also keeps our cells together because they have a vibration and electromagnetic. And so what happens is that if we separate all the water, we're just going to be a pile of cells. We're not going to be too much, and also we're going to be dead. If you take away the energy, we die even though we still have plenty of water and the cells are there. I'm sure that you've heard the term brain dead. And, if we isolate our emotions and stuff them down, what's going to happen is we're going to have explosions later. It's going to be depression. It's going to be anxiety. Take a look at what happens when we look at, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. That particular acronym is nothing more than understanding what triggers are. Have you ever been walking down the street and you smell this wonderful smell and you are immediately taken back to a time and place? Well, that's a time and a place is an emotion. It's a transporting your body. It is using your smell. And what will happen is that if we keep stuffing down our emotions and we don't get rid of the triggers, what's going to happen is we're just going to be bouncing around and never get anywhere and become frustrated. Individuals that have major post-traumatic stress disorder, they definitely need to have some type of therapy in order to reduce the amount of anxiety they have when they hear loud explosions. Well, in the case for myself, I have a post-traumatic syndrome from driving. I've been in a couple of car accidents. And when I reached a certain place on the expressway, I would get an anxious feeling. Well, I had to deal with that. Why would you want to have anxious feelings every time you go past the thing, 100, 200 different times? It's crazy. So one of the things is that many people reach out to pills, to help them with their erectile dysfunction, with their mood, with their anxiety, with their depression. Well, that's not going to help. We're looking for the cure, and that is bringing the whole body together. We're going to look at the mindset. We're going to look at the lifestyle. Have you ever asked yourself, where did this erectile dysfunction come from? Have you ever asked yourself, why am I enjoying erectile dysfunction? Now, that's a pretty weird question, isn't it? But we need to be asking that. We need to be asking, what is erectile dysfunction stopping us from? And then what that's going to do is bring up those emotions so that we can get in tune with what's going on in our body. I happen to have a list of questions that help you through this process. I have papers on emotional intelligence. I have papers on yoga and Tai Chi and how to get your spirit together. And they're all available. All you have to do is in the comments write down Becoming Whole and tell me which one you want and which area of life you feel that there's a deficiency in. And we'll get it together. We will solve this problem and get you to the point where you no longer have erectile dysfunction. I look forward to hearing from you and also you joining the 12-week course where you will be cured before the 12th week of erectile dysfunction. We'll know before you even join in that particular group whether or not I can support you and get you the cure. I look forward to you watching other lives and other programs and other guides. You have a great day.